Hello, my lovely, luscious Leos. Welcome, welcome. It is Sachi the Scorpio here to deliver your guided healing tarot for the month of March. Please like, comment, and subscribe. The more energy that you send to me, the more energy that I can send to you. And thank you so much for all of your likes and support on this channel, Leo. I super duper appreciate it. You're only a couple likes off from being #1. And whichever sign comes in first place, of course, they will get, next month's healing guided healing first, but also a bonus twin flame reading. And I know last month your reading was all about a twin flame cycle, so it seems like maybe you guys could really benefit from that. But thank you so much for all of your support thus far, and let's jump right in, Leo. This is quite an interesting energy that's coming up already. So what came out during the cleansing ceremony is the Wandering Ghost card in this deck. I'm like getting goosebumps. It's not part of the tarot at all. It's just something that this deck has incorporated. It's not associated with any particular element or anything. It is like the card of spirit itself. It's like a wandering ghost. So I have this connected to one of my Angelarium decks, so I am going to pull, because whenever this comes out, I can take it that there are some like substance sort of stuff going on, and it is Pisces season, right? 'Tis the season. But it is connected to the angels, so I'm going to see what angel wants to come out to talk. And during the cleansing ceremony, my angel crystal also fell over, so it might be that maybe you've disconnected from the angels a little bit. Let's see what wants to come out. What wants to tell us about this wandering spirit? Chakma, the right eye of wisdom. So this is talking about the masculine eye of being able to see things, right? Like wisdom is when you have the integration of some sort of information and, you're in the know. It's not like, people can tell you a piece of information and you get it, right? You can recite it, you can write it down, you can tell others about it, but to truly understand it and have that wisdom, like imprinted into your cells and your consciousness and your soul, that is what wisdom is, right? It's a very Sagittarian type energy. So we do have Chakma coming out. So there is some sort of wisdom that it feels like you are finally putting it into action. Like you're finally understanding information that has been given to you in the past, and you're finally able to apply it to the situation at hand. Again, this is the masculine eye. So, the right eye is talking about what is seen in the physical world. So likely something that you have experienced in the physical rather than the spiritual realm has finally been integrated into, your body as wisdom, or your soul as wisdom. So we're just going to keep that there. And what came out here was War Turtle using withdraw. Okay, so this is Turtle Spirit, and War Turtle using withdraw is telling me that you have emotionally withdrawn from some sort of situation. And likely it's because of what you have seen in the physical world, and you are using your wisdom and to emotionally withdraw from the situation at this moment. Okay, so Leo, what we are going to do for this month, we are going to see what emotional depths are you in, right? Because we're in Pisces season, which is, the deep, dark, unknown depths of the watery abyss. Then we are going to take a look into what is keeping you down, what's keeping you stuck down there. And then we will take a look into how do we bring you to shore. Okay, so that's how we get out of the water, and that's going to be the physical and earth element to ground you. And then we will look into how do we dry you off, and that is the air, the mental element that you need, right? Because we need, to get out of the water, ground ourselves, dry off, so that we can, be prepared for the spark that is Aries season that is coming up at the end of the month. And Leo, as fixed fire, probably more important than any other sign, it's important for you to be able to ground and dry off so that you can be prepared for the fire that is coming ahead in Aries season. And then, of course, we will look at some advice on how to manifest your highest vibrational timeline, and we will look at some oracles as well. So let's see, Leo, what emotional depths are you stuck in? What emotional depths are you in? Four of Pentacles in reverse. So there seems to be an understanding that, maybe not understanding, but not really taking into consideration time when it comes to the situation. And it feels like, you know, not really caring about time is something that is, you know, keeping you in these emotional depths. With the Four of Pentacles in reverse, it can mean that you are lacking some sort of physical stability, like a physical foundation when it comes to money or housing or anything like that. But the Four of Pentacles in this deck, these are these like Aboriginal spirits that come. They're like owl spirits, which is wisdom. So it might be, you know, wisdom is being brought up in the situation, but in terms of how you are applying it to your physical life, there may be a difficulty putting that in the foundation of how you're taking physical action, okay? But these spirits, they're like Aboriginal spirits that have no mouth. And the like tradition says that if they open their mouth, then like the area would flood. Like when they come, they bring the rain, okay? But if they were to have mouths and open it, it would flood the area. So there is this understanding of, you know, balancing the water, because how the water relates to the earth, right? You want to have a decent amount of rain. And even as we are preparing for Aries season, right, we need rain in order to help germinate those seeds that are going to be propagating. But you can't flood the area or else nothing's going to grow. So it does seem like a difficulty with that kind of water balance, because it seems like you've understood that, again, it has to do with like opening mouths. So it has to do with communicating about something in the physical world. And that if you were to open your mouth, you know that all this emotional and water energy would be coming out. So you've withdrawn, you've emotionally withdrawn because you're afraid to drown. It feels like somebody else. Tell me more about this Four of Pentacles. Five of Swords in reverse. This just came out for Capricorn yesterday. So yeah, because you know that if you open your mouth, there's going to be some sort of confrontation. Like Five of Swords has to do with like, you know, arguing or, you know, bickering, or, you know, two people coming together that really do not resonate when it comes to their communication. So it seems like you're avoiding that sort of strife when it comes to someone else here. This is also a card of not trusting the inner child. So it feels like, actually, I'm getting that your inner child is feeling unsafe, which is why you're not doing this. But there also is, you know, it's keeping you in the depths. Whew, Leo, this is a lot of energy. Okay, it's keeping you in the depths because you know that there's some sort of timing issue here, but you're kind of pushing that away. And you can't seem to build a physical foundation in this situation, but you still know you're doing the right thing. It's really difficult. Like, you know what you're doing is right, but it's still keeping you down. Like this, the story in this card is about a little boy. His dad's taking him somewhere and they have to go through this forest, and the little boy is like, "Dad, no, like we can't go in there. There's like something in there that wants to kill me." And, you know, he keeps telling his dad, like, "No, we need to go home." And the dad's like, "Oh, whatever, you know, they're just being a little kid and, you know, their imagination and da-da-da-da-da," right? All the terrible things that parents do to deny our reality, deny our intuition. And, you know, lo and behold, this thing comes and steals the child away, the soul away, right? So ends up being, you know, the child passes away. So it does feel like something like that has happened before. Like in the past, you didn't trust your inner child when it said it was scared or something bad is going to happen, and you got hurt, which is why there's some sort of issue with regulating this emotion of, you know, the rain coming, which is, you know, that purifying water and, you know, tears and stuff, to where, you know, if you were to open your mouth about the situation and go into this conflicting conversation, it would just be a complete ocean But the thing is like now your inner child is telling you like, don't do this. It's not safe. And you're trusting it this time. Like, again, it's like you've integrated this wisdom. You've seen what happens and you're committed to not repeating this, but it's still keeping you down, even though like I said, it feels like you know you're doing the right thing. Let's see, what's the light energy here? Mr. Mime using trick, yeah, and fairy type. So we definitely have a soulmate coming up, a masculine that, like you can tell that someone's trying to trick you, okay? Trying to trick you into being like, oh yeah, look, you know, things are stable, talk to me sort of thing. But it seems like you know from your crown chakra, like you're getting these divine downloads likely from the angels, because we did have that emphasis of the angels and like, you know, the crown chakra is very much associated with the angelic realm. This is how you get downloads from the external world into your own mind, right? It comes from the crown chakra and then you integrate it and process it in your mind to, you know, put it into the third eye and, you know, of how you think, right? And wisdom very much can be the crown chakra, right? It's like when it's just, it's integrated of how it is within you and outside of you, right? Without you. So yeah, really, really awesome, like crown chakra upgrades, but it seems like you're aware that this masculine is trying to trick you in some sort of way. It says it is adept at conning people. It is said to be able to create walls out of thin air by miming. Yeah. So it seems like, you know, that this person is trying to trick you. They might, you know, they've tried to con you in some sort of way. And in the past, you didn't listen to your inner child and you got hurt. And, you know, now someone is trying to trick you and say like, you know, let's have a foundation, but you know, it's a trick. It's just a con. And it feels like they try to come and they try to like steal your soul, if that sounds, whew, I don't like channeling that. Yeah, they come and they try to take something from you and then they create these walls out of nothing that, you know, stop you from actually interacting with them. It's like someone just checking in to see if they have like access. Let's see, what's the shadow? Steel energy. Yeah, you are protected. You are protected. Exactly, like, you know, they create these walls out of nothing, but in the shadow, they're actually pretty strong walls. Like, you know, it's steel energy, which is like this. So it seems like, you know, not to repeat this. You know, someone's trying to trick you. And again, it does seem like you are very, very protected. Your aura is protected. But again, there are like some pretty solid walls in the spirit realm. You know, they try to create barriers in the light of like physical reasons why we can't connect or something like that. But in reality, you're really, you know, have this wall up in the shadow realm, in the spirit realm, to keep you away from this masculine that's trying to trick you. All right. I mean, you know you're doing the right thing, but that's the emotional depths, is like you feel like you can't even open your mouth, like you're dealing with a trickster. Let's see what's keeping you down, what's keeping you stuck about it. The 9 of Pentacles. Interesting. So this is telling me you're finishing a cycle within yourself, and it feels like that's kind of the difficult part, is knowing that you have to finish this by yourself. But even though this is within yourself, you still have community support, and it feels like you know that. Like 9 of Pentacles is a really good energy to do that, but this is also like the cave system, so there could be some sort of community underground influence of why you're being kept down. Let's get more information on this. 10 of Pentacles. Woo. Interesting. See, this is really good energy for what is keeping you stuck. So it feels like you feel that if you complete this physical cycle, again, it's like why you don't have some sort of physical foundation, you know? That if you finish this cycle within yourself, that it will lead to finishing the physical cycle with you and this other person. It's still like, you know, you're only completing it within yourself so that you can do it with the other person as well. Ten of Pentacles is all about physical riches, physical abundance. Like, you know, this is, you know, a lot of money, really good housing, a really stable physical relationship, really good connection with nature. So it's quite interesting that this is coming up for you in what's keeping you down there. It might be your ability to like manifest a bunch of abundance like by yourself or something. Tell me more about this. Clarify. The Hanged Man. Okay, yeah, you can't let it go. So even though you know, you can't deal with this sort of trickster, you feel like, well, if I do this, then we can come together and have that. You're not letting it die the way that it needs to, right? No paths lead from the Hanged Man. You know, that's when you have to accept defeat and, you know, move on and take a completely different approach to the situation. But you're not taking a different approach. You're refusing to let it go. And the only reason why you're, you know, deciding to kind of do your own thing and not go into this energy with the trickster is because you think that if you do stuff, you know, by yourself and do this, that it's eventually going to lead to you and this other person coming together with your abundance. You're not letting something actually die. You're not letting something go. I will also say the Hanged Man in this deck is vampires, like those who are the undead because they feast upon the living. And, you know, with the cave system and the abundance, there can be some sort of influence here about other people stealing your energy. Okay? It's kind of what I was picking up on here. I don't want to focus on that at all, but I do, you know, I'm not going to stop that from coming through if it wants to come through. Let's see what the light energy is. What's keeping down? Yeah, Scraggy using lunge. This is some dark energy that's in the light. So I was going to say black magic, but I was keeping my mouth shut. But here we have the dark energy coming to light, Leo. I don't really like channeling this kind of stuff, like I said, but I'm not going to keep it from you when it comes up. So, you know, we do have the full moon coming up, you know, people who work with the moon, people who are in the cave systems, you know, sneaky, and how they get their physical material, you know, abundance by just taking from others, right? So yeah, the lunge, like, you know, lunging forward, like this darkness is coming at you, basically, and it seems like that is what's keeping you stuck. It says, it immediately headbutts anyone that makes eye contact with it. Its skull is massively thick. Yeah, so like this darkness is just trying to like headbutt you, right? Trying to come at you, and this skull is massively thick is very much like, you know, like someone who's very, very hard-headed. I don't feel like it's you. I mean, it's possible that you are being very hard-headed and just kind of going into the dark, more energy of this, like staying, you know, I mean, it does, the shadow's in the light, so it does seem like you're aware of it, but you're just kind of lunging into, I don't know. Honestly, it feels like the darkness is lunging towards you, not the other way around. But then again, you know, it is just a reflection of what you're projecting. So it's hard to say. There might be some cross watchers here, which is why I'm really feeling both ways. But yeah, someone is extremely stubborn. I'm going to get a little bit more information. Tell us about this darkness. Soul Rock, knock away. Okay. So when I asked, like, tell us about the darkness, I heard, like, don't do that. So I'm trying not to channel that anymore. But yeah, Soul Rock, this is Leo, this is you, this is the sun, right? So it does look like the light, like you are fighting to try to knock away this darkness. So I do feel like you personally are trying to, you know, fight it off. again, it's like, you know, you are very protected, and this darkness that's trying to come at you, like, you have so much light that you're just knocking it away of like, like, it's barely like you have to fight, but you just have so much light that it keeps it at bay, which is awesome. But it still is keeping you stuck because like so much of your light is being used to keep that darkness away rather than to actually be manifesting what you really want. It says it absorbs solar energy during the day. Always expressionless, it can sense what a foe is thinking. Yeah, so you are, I mean, we have the moon and the sun here, so it's definitely balancing that divine feminine and divine masculine energy here. Okay, I do feel like you are very deeply tapped into the yin yang, the divine feminine, divine masculine. Again, it does feel very twin flamey right here. And you know, you're trying to absorb as much light as you can, so that way when the darkness comes for you, it's not a big deal. You know, it's always expressionless. It can sense what a foe is thinking. So it seems like you know what this other person's doing, how they're draining your energy, how they get their abundance, and things of that nature. Let's see, what's the shadow here? Trainer, timer, ball. I knew there was something with time. So this other person wants to come through, right? Trainers are always another person, and timer ball in reverse is saying like this other person thinks that there's not enough time for something. Okay, there's definitely some sort of time aspect. Can you give a little bit more information on that? To get rid of the darkness. Yeah, to get rid of the darkness. They don't think there's enough time. Well, that's certainly a specific message for somebody. All right, we're going to see what angel wants to bring us into the extended, Leo. This has been quite the ride. We're going to check in to see, you know, how do we bring you to shore? That's the earth physical element that is necessary. Then we'll take a look on how to dry off from this. That's the mental and air elements. And then we will look at some advice on how to manifest your highest vibrational timeline. And then, of course, some oracle wisdom. Let's see what angel wants to bring us into the extended. That was quick. We have breathe. Archangel Raphael. Take several deep breaths. And exhale slowly to awaken your energy and release old patterns. So there definitely are some, you know, patterns that you are understanding that you're not repeating, and you know you're doing the right thing. But there's also something that you can't seem to let go of. So, you know, focus on your breathing so that you can release old patterns. It's funny because I started doing like a breathing exercise during the cleansing ceremony, and it really like stuck out, focusing on like lung health. So make sure that you are, you know, consciously breathing, learn to breathe from your diaphragm, and it's really time to awaken your energy and release all of these old patterns. So Leo, if you'd like to follow me into the extended, the link is in the description box below. So is all the information on my private reading stuff. I do want to let you know I'm closing my books for tarot at the end of Pisces season until Taurus season is over. So it's about 2 months. So that I can focus on some astrology services and some other creative projects. So if you have been wondering, you know, thinking about booking with me for a private reading, now is the time to do so, because I will be closing my books like at least until Taurus season. It really depends on how long it takes me to, you know, get everything done. But again, if you want to follow me into the extended, the link is down below. And if we part ways here, good luck with the situation. I'm sending you so much love, a big hug, and a kiss on your third eye. Mwah.